Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we've kind of felt like this morning when we were chatting that we've been neglecting our product review side of the channel, and we've been doing a lot of fitting side of things for you guys to see the value in that. But ultimately, you know, we love to review equipment as well and discuss, you know, the pros and cons of certain products and why we carry them here at TXG.
100%. I think we'll try to make it more of a weekly thing.
Think so.
Where we take, I mean, there's so many new products every year.
I know.
We could probably do 52 weeks a year of product reviews, but I think we'll try to make it a little bit more of a presence. It's definitely interesting. I think the reason we shied away from it a bit is just we really want to differentiate from the beginning and say, listen, there's a lot of stuff that isn't being discussed at all on YouTube and in golf in general, but there's a lot of interesting things that obviously you can bring to the table. Just from a product review standpoint, we'll do them a bit differently. We'll show you a little more data and just chat more about the design of it, I guess.
And we were obviously we were down at the PGA show together, and we did spend quite a lot of time reviewing product down there, didn't we? So
different environment.
Exactly. So if you guys are interested in some of the other, you know, reviews, we do have some stuff dating back in our playlist out at the PGA show if you really want to look at some stuff. But we are going to get focused on it again, and we've had a pretty significant amount of people asking for us to review this particular driver.
Yep, the Cobra F8.
This new F8 Plus. We have both here, but we're going to get you to hit the Plus.
This is the Plus, right.
The lower spin model, Matt. So let's just kind of run through it, and we'll kind of give you guys a little bit of our take as to who this might benefit and some of the features on the driver. So I think the big thing with F8 is being the CNC milled face.
Right.
Okay, so if we kind of spin this around here and sort of just toggle it, you can actually see the milling across the face, guys. So what Cobra were trying to achieve by doing that was the consistency of face thickness.
Thickness, okay.
That was the big thing about when you CNC mill something, you can really control the process, the manufacturing process.
Okay.
So what they wanted to do was make sure there was the consistent, you know, face thickness across the face was achieved. Consistency of ball speed, you know, making sure that the perimeter hits are a little bit quicker.
Right.
The centered strikes were obviously they're regulated, but you know they were as quick as they're allowed to be, that type of thing. So that was the big part of the face plate with the F8 drivers.
And it's weird because I don't remember what company, but wasn't there someone that did variable face thickness as like a
Callaway.
whole? It's Callaway, okay.
Callaway,
so
VFT.
Why did they go variable and these guys at Cobra went, I guess, as non-variable as possible?
Almost everyone has variable face thickness.
Okay.
Almost everyone, which basically the perimeter of the face is a little bit thinner.
Right. So if we're looking at it, it would be this area here around the edges
is a little bit thinner, and then actually a little bit thicker in the middle. So the idea being that there's more ball speed produced, you know, versus the middle, relatively speaking. So if you heel one or toe one, you should get less energy transfer because you get a lot of deflection. But by making the face thinner, you can maintain the speed off the face.
So more of that trampoline.
Yes.
So are they actually on the outside? Are they technically over the limit versus the center?
Now,
how does that work?
Here's the thing, because they don't test. For CT, for characteristic time, they're not testing out here for characteristic time. So you can actually make, you know, a little bit quicker and that type of thing. So, but you know, the thing is with the toe and heel strikes, it's a miss hit. You don't really want your miss hit going further.
It's kind of it's kind of an interesting discussion because that's exactly right. If you've towed it that bad or heeled it, chances are that shot is not good. Yeah. And then it should go shorter.
It's just all about balance. Everything in club fitting is all about balance. It's having the right amount of this, but not too much of that.
Yep.
You know, and it's the same with this. So, cool. If we flip the driver over, that's perfect, Matt. So you can see they've still got the two weights. So we've got the 12 gram weight. And the 2 gram at the back. So depending on how you want the CG of the driver to play, you can flip those forward. For you, we have the 12 gram weight at the front of the head.
Gotcha.
Okay, then we'll get the 2 gram weight at the back.
This is the weight in the back. It's a little harder to see. But
a little harder to see, but there's 2 weights in there. So you know, depending if we want to fine tune it and go, okay, it's good, but it could just do with being flighted up a little or down a little, maybe change the spin. It's negligible, guys.
I was going to ask, it's not a whole lot.
If you flip one weight to the other, you may see 200 RPMs of spin change.
Gotcha.
2 to 300 tops.
So weight forward, less spin, weight back, more spin.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct. Exactly. So, I mean, we were discussing the look of it earlier, and
Yeah.
I quite liked the look, and maybe you weren't quite as taken with the grey.
I don't mind it. I just think that the gray well, here, let me show the top. I just think the gray is a little dark.
Yeah.
But now it's weird because we've had the TaylorMade and we tested it. I think I just got partial to that contrast. It is nice though. I think it's more subtle. I can see why they did that because the TaylorMade thing it's like really sharply different, especially when they did the white.
Yep.
So I can see this appealing. It is a nice looking driver.
Exactly.
But the raised texture on top here, is that an aerodynamic thing?
story? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so designed again to disturb the airflow over the top of the driver.
It's
so
these here.
Yeah. So just the little ridges there. I mean, you know, the thing is there's a lot of people who are skeptical that makes any difference.
I probably would fall in that category personally. But
yeah. I mean, that's there's an argument that it 100% would do it, and then if you look at the smoke test, that's how they test it. Basically, they put the head there and they blow smoke at it at high speed, and then they see it hit the club face and then push upwards.
Interesting.
Same as airflow, but when you have the ridges to disturb the airflow, it actually tracks over the top of the club head rather than producing a sort of a barrier to the speed. So, guys, it might be worth a 1 mile an hour swing speed at the most.
But your personal variance could amount to 5 mile an hour anyway, so who knows, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not going to be a game changer, but it's part of the incremental nudge that these manufacturers try and make. It's something to talk about. It's a story. Because any which way in these products, they'll try and add something that will benefit you guys. And, you know, I know there's a lot of skeptics out there who'll go, it doesn't really make a difference. Probably doesn't, but you'd rather have it probably than not.
Well, that's the thing. If you robot tested, which I know is kind of a downward trend right now with these club manufacturers, but all things being equal, does one thing do a little bit better than the other? That's technology's entire purpose.
That's it.
If you say, you know, the human element obviously makes the variances so big that maybe you won't notice it.
That you won't see it and detect it. Yeah.
But if you took two exactly the same shots, if this was going half a mile an hour faster, then maybe it would go 2-3 yards further. So
exactly.
It's there. It's interesting at least, right?
I mean, let's do our thing. Let's go hit it. So, you know, Matt hit a couple earlier with it. We kind of dialed it in a little bit to Matt's kind of spec. You know, his loft. We've turned the loft down a little bit. So
we've got
played at 8.
8. And this is a 9-degree head?
It's a 9-degree head, so it can play as low as 7. It can play up as high as, I believe, about 10 and a half. So
I think what people will be curious about from the test, and you guys will have to let us know, I guess, how useful these tests are for you. I know they're going to say it's too fast, but I'm the only one here right now that can test it. But I think what we have to say is try to take away, you know, how does it feel, obviously. How does it compare, I guess, in launch and spin to other similar heads? I think that's what people will be curious about. Like, is it similar spin to an M3? You know, is the ball speed, forgiveness across the face similar to a Rogue? Things like that.
Well, the thing is, this is not going to be a driver that the average, you know, or a higher handicap driver, probably handicap player gravitates towards anyway.
Yeah,
it probably
this is the lower spin model.
This is the F8 Plus.
Right.
So, you know, we probably are going to see that driver be in the hands of somebody who's looking for spin reduction.
But all things being equal, if you took the spin testing out of it, the F8 technology-wise, more or less the same stuff. This is just a lower spin version.
Exactly. So this is probably slightly less forgiving, slightly lower MOI than the F8, the standard one.
Right.
And you know, it'll be really interesting. I wasn't a big fan of last year's F7 driver.
Okay.
I really wasn't. I thought it was pretty bad by Cobra standards. F6 was really good prior to that. So there's a lot of F6 drivers still kicking around.
Interesting.
So, you know, I'm really excited to see how this one performs. I've always really valued Cobra as a company and how they manufacture their woods. They always get great performance, which is why I was really disappointed with F7 last year. The King range, remember that from last year that Ricky played? That was good.
Okay.
That was very good. And the fairway wood was unbelievable.
I heard that too.
It was fantastic. It was one of our best performing fairway woods. Just the F7 driver let us down. It spun, it was slow, it was everything you really don't want to be in this day and age. So
that's probably why we are getting comments now, because they're getting a little forgotten about.
Yeah.
And we've been guilty of it as well.
Sure.
So I guess a great takeaway from this video, let's find out if it does stack up to everything else.
Yeah.
And then at least we put Cobra back in the conversation.
Exactly. Okay, let's hit a few. Okay, Matt, so we've set you up. We've got your gamer shaft, and we fit you a couple of months ago to the Mitsubishi Kurokage XT70TX. Big boy shaft, played by McElroy for a number of years. Your club head speed's not far away from his.
Right.
So ball speed wise, you know, we're hoping to see you still in the 170s when you are
Kind of low 170s.
low 170s is when you're hitting it really nicely.
Yeah.
High 160s with good launch and spin's fine too,
Right.
but we want to see some speed here.
Yeah, so I've hit a bunch of the drivers you guys stock.
Yeah.
So as long as we see numbers around there, we can at least say, and I'm sure I'll miss it a few.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to see if it keeps up.
I know.
Because that's most of what people are looking for right
Exactly.
now. Maybe won't be the most forgiving driver, but we'll have to find out.
Let's take a little look. I mean, Cobra drivers, Matt, have been historically really well balanced. They have a good amount of everything.
Right.
Great feel, great launch, great ball speed, low spin.
Right.
You know, they normally tick all the boxes.
Right.
So, and without being overly complicated.
Yeah.
I think that's the good stuff.
Technology-wise.
Technology-wise,
Yeah.
there's normally not too much going on in a Cobra driver, but
That's a good way to sum this up.
Yeah.
It doesn't look overly designed, I guess, is the way to put
Yeah.
it, but they put some technology, but it's more of a simple concept versus the TaylorMade M3 or something like that.
And Ricky certainly he put it into play in Albany, didn't he?
He did,
At
yeah.
Tigers tournament with the
Right
Hero
away.
and was just lights out with it. So
Yeah.
let's see how it performs. Still launch quite low for you, Matt.
Yeah, it does actually seem to. That one was struck pretty nicely. Felt like a
Your
good swing.
carry's a bit longer there.
Yeah, maybe not my quickest, but no, it's good ball speed, right?
Hanging in there, yeah. 292, 310. Fraction in the heel gives a little bit of the spin axis tilt to the left.
Yep. It's a little bit of a harder feeling face.
When I hit it when our rep brought it to us, that was exactly what I felt, that it felt hard off the face.
It just looks like it's going to be hard off the face when you look at the club.
Yeah, because of the kind of texture.
I honestly thought that would just be like a psychological thing,
Yeah.
but it does feel
I'm
much
curious
harder.
that you've said that because from when I hit it, I thought it felt hard.
I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, but it's very different. Because to me, when I was chatting with you about hitting the M3, when you hit that thing dead center,
Yep.
it has that what's the word for it? Like you don't even feel the ball.
Yeah,
it just kind of shoots off. And so it's probably good feedback because when you read online, there's people that are kind of one or the other. Some people love that where your best strike is kind of just like the ball takes off, you don't really feel it.
Yeah.
Others prefer to feel the feedback. So just from a few swings, I would say if you like to feel where you hit it on the face, this is probably a little better for that.
With the TaylorMade and with the Callaway products, that can be the nature of having the carbon crown.
Carbon crown, okay.
Yeah, so when you get the acoustics of having some carbon on the top, it normally mutes the sound a little bit.
Okay.
Mute is your most key element to feel.
Interesting.
Normally what you hear is what you feel. So they actually done some pretty interesting testing with some guys a few years back, and they all wore earplugs.
Yeah.
And hit a bunch of drivers, and they went, they all feel pretty similar.
Really?
Done the same test without the earplugs, and they all went, wow, that one feels like this, it feels like that. So what we hear is normally key to what we feel.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Should have put earplugs on me apparently. But it makes sense though, because you assume that you're feeling it through your hands.
That's
but
right.
You might not be.
No, not as much as we think.
That felt good.
Nice there, Matt. Really nice. A little higher launch there, just turned it over lovely. That's an ideal flight, isn't it?
Yeah. That was a strike. Good strike, yeah. It felt very, very good. I will maintain that. It does feel different. Nice center hits. They still feel a little bit firmer.
Still feeling the firm side. 307, 329.
I can see that appealing to people though, honestly.
Yeah, feeling like you get a good solid hit on it.
Yeah. It's different. It probably won't be for everyone, but it definitely feels different than the other ones that I've tried. I would say the other one that feels similar is the Rogue. I felt the Rogue face felt a little firm.
Firmer this year.
But that might just be compared to the M3, because the M3 I felt, it just feels like it has like a super thin face feel.
Right.
But
same again, down the left side, little draw. Started on line with a little draw.
Turned it a little bit.
Quite strong in flight as well, though.
Yeah.
Tell you what, it's going to be a good one for distance.
Yeah. Those ball speeds are great. Honestly, those are probably the two of the fastest I've had today.
A couple of misses in there, strike-wise, but other than that, 171, 170, 173, 170, 173.
A little bit of a heel strike. It's a good swing, though. Honestly, for how that felt, it felt very heely. To get 310, like I'd be pretty excited about that on the course. It was a bad strike.
Oh,
that's by far the best one I hit.
The money shot there. Jeez.
The more I hit it, the more I like the feel of it, honestly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you're starting to warm to it a little bit.
Yep, it's growing on me.
Okay, Matty, six nice drives. We deleted a couple because we were getting you warmed up there, but we kind of kept the best 6 from 8.
Yep, good. I would say we kept 6 shots that I'd be happy with. A couple that were a little right, but not bad. And
the reason we deleted them, you said swing. That was all.
I made a couple bets. My legs are a little wobbly after standing for a couple hours filming, but these were good shots to test out.
Strike-wise, it was good. You were striking it nicely.
Yep.
Pretty much focused in the centre. You had one that snuck into the heel, and we quite liked the one that was in the heel because it really wasn't that bad. It was this one.
And how far in the heel was that? That was
19 millimeters in the heel.
So that's a lot.
Yeah, it was quite a lot. And if we look at it, 10 launch, 2500, 291, 311. Wow. Look at how straight it was.
I know. That was a really good miss. Happy with that.
I mean, picking up on your sort of body language and maybe just your, just general sort of demeanour around swinging this, it didn't look like you loved it to start with.
No.
But you really warmed it.
I like it now for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, as you said, like I don't think they had a great year last year with product.
No.
And so I'm probably not the only one who just kind of thought, like Cobra, whatever kind of thing.
Yeah.
But quite honestly, that is as good as anything that I've tried so far. And we've hit them all this year.
I've seen you hit. Yeah, I mean, a couple of the big ones that you hit, number 1, number 4, and number 6.
Yeah.
I mean, those are bombed.
Yeah.
I loved it. Loved how balanced everything is. The launch. Look how tight the launch numbers were.
And that's a good launch, right? Like it's not a super high launching driver.
Always say, when we're hitting shots for you, 10 to 12.
Yeah.
That's the window I like you to be. If you're in the low 2000s, you've got enough spin to be stable. You've got enough to be long.
Right.
We try and keep you around the 110 mark. Like this, honestly, this ticks every single box that I would try and kind of achieve for you.
It's a bit of a shocker, to be honest.
Surprised?
I'm a little surprised, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with being brand agnostic and being open-minded about trying new product.
Seriously.
You just don't know what's going to work, and I think Cobra have got a good driver in their hands here.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way you could not watch this and take away. It is at least as good on the main ticking points. Like it can be as low spin as you want. Ball speed's good, pretty forgiving. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's keeping up. I am honestly a little surprised.
It really reminds me. I think you could flip a coin between this and the Rogue Sub-Zero head. I think they're exactly the same.
Really?
Just in terms of like the way the head is designed, they've got a front weight and a back weight.
Yep.
They're both a nice kind of size without being overly small or overly big.
Yeah.
They both feel quite nice. Like you said, the acoustics are a little bit high on both. Yes. I think in so many ways, if you like one, go out and try the other.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Could be quite good for you. So I think both of those heads will kind of find their way into a lot of bags this summer.
I'm surprised it's as low spin as it is because I don't think I've really heard that being talked about. Maybe you have?
Yeah. I mean, the Plus model from Cobra, generally speaking, is quite low spin.
It is, okay.
Yeah, it generally is, yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just part of the takeaway from the video is that, I think I follow equipment fairly closely, but not really aware of what was going on with this club in terms of who would be good for. And obviously the regular F8, we'd see more spin and such, but it's a good, fast driver. If you get a good fitting, I can see someone getting some great numbers.
Exactly, Matt, exactly. Okay guys, hope this has been helpful. We're coming back with more product review videos in the next few weeks. Please leave some comments below if there's anything in particular that you guys would like us to review. We've got everything available at our disposal here anyway, so if we see a trend that people are asking for specific products, we'll be more than happy to review them, and we'll get them on the channel. It's going to become a weekly segment to review something at least once a week. So we've got our why in the bag, we've got our high handicap series going on right now, and we'll do some product reviews as well. So we're kind of ticking all those boxes for you guys. Excellent stuff guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.